welcome back, and thanks for joining us for another rendition of Saturday Morning Quake Tunes here at the Quake Pro League. I'm 40 Lions, joined by the one and only Lethal. 2 sets down. We're going to hop into the third here shortly, and it's going to be psygib versus Series Lethal. This is going to be a mechanical battle, maybe? Question mark?
Yeah, I agree. We did mention earlier that Series has probably got one of the best aims on the planet, alongside Tox. Tox, 62% LG. I still can't get that. Literally barcoded into my brain, but this is a man you do not want to have in terms of having a duel, but relying on your combat skills, so to speak. Because this guy can really pack a punch. He can pack a wallop in a number of ways here, 40. But his adaptation has sometimes let him down in the past. But then again, it's just one of those things like, okay, against your usual suspects, he can like do an incredible job to a certain degree. But against the likes of maybe like Razy or the Raffers, etc., that's when they won't give it. It's not that they can't out combat him in any way, shape, or form in terms of his aim skill. It's just they weren't given the opportunity or the angles, these little micro bits here and there, to actually be able to make or force Sirius to have to do other things, feel out of his comfort zone, and then try and correct him. So the fact that these top players don't give Sirius the opportunity to abuse his aim, that's when he will have a few issues. But for psygib, we'll have to see how he's going to perform this time round, because if he can adapt really well and play it slow against Sirius, then maybe he can get the upper hand. But Sirius has been looking pretty good, 40, not gonna lie.
Yeah, not too shabby. Sitting at 1-1 right now. Unfortunately for psygib, he's rocking the 0-2 to start the season. And is this going to be the one where he breaks out? We will see. Let's take a look at the maps and champ picks between these two. I personally would love to see nothing but LG on LG the entire way through, but that's not really how it works, unfortunately. But Corrupted Keep, that might lean that way, as we are going to open the set with that. Then we're going to head on over to Awoken, and we're going to end it with Molten Falls. And Lethal, as always, can you please run me through the champs?
Of course I will, mate. Of course I will. Seeing a Strog coming up on Corrupted Keep, not really surprised in the slightest. Seeing a bit more Anarchy now and then, which is another creep up. But with the Nyx now, he's got to deal with a Visor this time around. Of course, we spoke about the Ranger and the Nyx matchup previously with how Zeneca was going to perform. But Sirius, he should be okay now. And the problem is, when you've got a guy with the combat skills which Sirius has, and you've got Piercing Sight, it's just not good. It's just not good at all. But it depends on the timing of when he uses that Piercing Sight, of course, when psygib can get out of a dark place with that Ghost Walk. But Molten Falls, though, we're going to see Eisen once again against the BJ, was going to be very interesting in itself. Normally you see a lot of BJ come up and Corrupted Keep, but we have seen it the odd occasion on Molten Falls as well, which is a little bit of a surprise for me. No Galena this time around either. Maybe that's why Sirius has decided to prioritise the BJ instead of the Galena, but we'll have to see. But what we've seen so far, Strog looking very good for psygib side for Corrupted Keep. Sirius, he should be happy with the Visor pick against the Nyx and Awoken. But it's going to be very dicey. I think psygib, of course, will have the advantage in terms of the that defensive posture to try and at least contest these items. But Sirius, so aim skill, he's using a guy with dual wield. Like, Jesus Christ, what more do you want?
Yeah, I mean, 1 LG is bad enough. Give the man 2, and holy shit. As we take a look at the predictions, 80% in favor of Sirius, dropping down to 78 for a little bit here. But map number 1, the chat has spoken. They believe in Sirius. I would love to see, I mean, psygib has been having a rough go. Last stage, season rather, and then the beginning of this one. I would love to see the ascension back to the Psygod that we know and love. I want to see the shades on, the bandana, chewing gum like Michael Jordan, the whole 9. But we'll see. We'll see. I think Sirius definitely has the mechanical edge here, although psygib is very, very good. But we'll see what it comes down to. If he could play a nice controlled game, maybe zone out Sirius, maybe it goes his way. But I think going toe-to-toe with Sirius is not going to be in favor of psygib, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, from a mechanical standpoint, I do feel like Sirius can take down like 2/3 of these players, but that 1/3 he struggles with. It's just, as I mentioned earlier, these players do not give him the opportunities. They don't create any openings for him. They don't really give him any angles either. And it's tough when you're in position, especially when you're made to feel that uncomfortable. Makes you, of course, feel a little bit uncomfortable with your aim skill as well. But the psygib, I think it might be a different story. I feel like Sirius, in terms of predictions, might actually take this 2-1 depending on the circumstances of this first map, because as I mentioned earlier, it has to deal against a Strog. I don't think Anarchy is a bad pick at all in the slides. I still think it's a very good pick with Corrupted Keep, but we know how difficult it is to deal with a Strog without a rail on Corrupted Keep. We've seen it time and time again. Enough speaking, enough words, 40. We're going to get into this third match between psygib and Sirius. See what is going to unfold. Starting off from psygib's perspective, picking up the heavy straight away and darting straight towards Sirius's position. Looking at the Pika very early on.
Oh, huge blast of damage. One more, and down he goes. psygib off to the races early. The buckshot coming up big, and Sirius just running into LG, trying to make something happen. There's another swap to shotgun. 2-0, 25 seconds in. Action-packed.
Yeah, he's not mucking around, is he? I did witness psygib scrimming against Rafa last night, funny enough, to see how he was doing. Some scores were good. Some games, it's a bit of a pounding, but you know, any practice is good practice to rectify what he needs to do against Sirius. Still only on 58 HP rather. That's recovered a little bit, but oh my! Even I felt that LG. It was just so good, especially when he was on the staircase. Not having a positional advantage there as of yet. Sirius now. And that straight away towards psygib, catches him.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Literally, couldn't say anything more than that.
I know the chat wants to know. 58% chat. 58% LG right now. And Lethal, we already talked about the LG skin. One of my favorites. Tied at 2. Just about 130 in on Corrupted Keep. There's going to be a lot more shaft on this one for sure. Serious. Nice swap to the machine gun there, making sure he's maximizing damage as he can, and also denying some lights too. So really nice play here from Sirius, staying on top of the items as well. I saw him in the chat earlier when I mentioned, you know, he needs to play more of a full game, try and control the items. And I saw him reply, you don't need items if you're hitting 80% rail. And I guess that's true if you're hitting 60% LG too. Has the inject, has perfect positioning on the Mega, but that's not going to be up for 18 seconds. So psygib just has to try and make do, and he's going to go down and give Sirius the lead.
Serious. I think psygib knew it was coming. As soon as he heard the inject, that was it. It was just a matter of time. But anything he could do was just prepare a little bit earlier when he heard the inject to do a bit of damage. But apart from that, that's been about it. Sirius does survive. Mega's up. But of course, he's going to be up nowhere near. Let's try and go for that. The Eagle at least is taken down to 16 HP. Still got a couple of bubbles lurking. Just helping recover a tad. Has the inject now as well. Whoa. He's up in the next 5 seconds. Oh, that LG, the rocket afterwards. That was a 98 or 99 from what I just saw there. And he picks up the heavy. Went for that engagement. There was no way in hell Sirius was going to be able to contest that.
No way at all. Thinking twice before diving in from the red room here, drops down. I think he saw a glimpse of psygib now as he's trying to play nice and quiet here. And good catch with the LG as psygib wanting to grab those vials, trying to make something happen with the peak. A little bit of damage, but taken out with the buckshot here. Sirius will have inject in about 2 seconds. Heavy's going to be the next item. Is it going to be a mad dash? He wants to re-up on some LG. There's the inject for a little bit of insurance, and here comes maybe big damage. Last thing you want to run into is Sirius and an LG just waiting outside of a telly.
Oh my god. And he's just picked up the Mega and just made that look so
Sweet
easy.
mother of Christ.
Like, I'm going to check his percentage again just to have a... So it's on 50 at the moment, but he has fired quite a lot. And I love this as well. Let's have a look at this. So rocket damage, he's done 99 damage. And then LG damage, 1,379. We're talking like 80% of his damage has just been purely from the LG and nothing else.
Fortunately, doesn't get around the corner. Doesn't burn the inject either, and I respect it. I like it. Using it more for an overstack instead of a kind of lifeline situation here. Nice rocket around the corner. Good read from Sirius, and there it is. There wants a little bit of an overstack before this engagement here. So he's playing nice and slow, making psygib choose. Unfortunately for psygib, chose wrong. Pika comes out again, but nothing really doing there.
Psygib still in this. He's got a huge stack. That 59 is going to do a little bit more to his advantage. Oh, sadly just missed on that rocket jump, but looks like Sirius didn't even take the bait anyway, so he's just going to be standing his ground. Can't find any lights to his name. And as you can see, psygib just letting us know he's waiting for the next one, even though Sirius one in red room already. 78. Now we're going to see how he's going to try and rotate back around, but it looks like Sirius is going to hold on top mid. Even with that Strog, is going to at least try and rocket jump and catch him, but sadly he's not. Halfway stage, 2 frag deficit, but psygib can definitely make a good go of this.
Serious taking a look at his items. 6 major items. He's living off lights and LG. He's got 13 light armors in comparison to psygib's 5, but psygib is rocking 15 majors, but it doesn't even matter. If you're hitting 48% 50 LG, maybe you don't need items. Maybe he's right, Lethal. 5 head plays from Series here as he does have a 2 frag lead halfway through this one. And there's a battle right above the Mega. The rockets not good enough, and psygib will be able to push through the choke point, get that frag, and maybe even off the spawn. Plasma coming out, but it's not enough. Buckshot to the chest. That's going to tie it at 5.
Start to show the items as well. 6 items for Sirius and 16 for psygib. Rotating back around from Regin, finds him with DLG. In that position, it's going to make it extremely difficult. As Sirius is still somehow in this to a fair amount. Even after you use Destruct, still ties up. That trade was probably the best outcome we could have asked for. The fact that he got that direct with psygib only on 99 at the time. Yeah, that's unbelievable that even happened. But some good rockets going for psygib. Sirius trying to stay alive. He's only on 4 HP. And psygib, rightly so, finish him off with the heavy machine gun.
Making sure to grab rockets. Sirius has him trapped, but he doesn't really have a ton of weaponry or stack to work with. Machine gun a little bit. The damage returned is already just absolutely debilitating for Sirius as he has no armor. Inject in hand shortly here. Rocket around the corner won't land. Uses the inject a little bit early here. Nice peeker play to just try and mess up his aim. The LG on LG psygib. Wow, he almost went down with the health bubble, saving his life.
Psygib must feel like he needs to have at least double stack to potentially have a chance, let alone create certainty in some of his duels. No. Sprinkle damage, but gives him the info he requires. Rotate back around. Oh, good rocket as well. That's going to really hinder. Oh, that heavy machine gun must have done at least 120, 135, considering what we saw there. Psygib now having to re-rotate all the way back around. Still looking to go for the heavy. We'd be able to get it though, and Sirius, well, weak himself, but Psygib's only on 6 HP. If he can maybe get him with this Strog, may potentially get the Mega depending on spawn location, but Psygib's way too far away at this point. Gobsmacked how Sirius to even survive back. LG comes out and then cleans him up beautifully. Now only trailing behind by that 1 frag. If he's up in the next 5 seconds, and he has the inject.
Sit up, baby.
Really nice plays there from Sirius. I mean, really just great tracking, right? The LG's absolutely bonkers. He's hitting 2.2k damage of just pure LG, and psygib's flying in with a rocket. Makes the deficit back to 2. Make that 3, catching him out in the red room. 2 minutes left. Sirius has to be careful.
At the moment, with 10 seconds left remaining until this next heavy crops up. Psygib is just going to continue dilly-dallying around of Mega to keep him pinned down heavy machine gun. The good thing about that, he's delayed it more than enough in order to secure the heavy with ease. Fantastic. We have 90 seconds left remaining, and Sirius is the type of player you would expect to try and claw things back. And great LG coming out from Sirius. Some good defensive rockets here coming out from psygib, but that's going to be enough from him. Sirius needs to try cover the best he can. But this is heavy. Could see a role reversal, maybe even tie things up.
Looks like it's going to be free. psygib trying to grab some weaponry here. Maybe even hug the ropes. He's got a minute left, 2 frag lead. Putting the pressure on Sirius to make a move here. Nice little rocket jump while grabbing the Mega, trying getting that extra speed boost. And now he just has to catch him out, and the defensive play from psygib has to be perfect. A little bit of rocket damage on the way out, but he's going to use that crouch slide to gain space and get the hell away from Sirius. Rocket jump, having to burn some stack. There's the overstack with the inject to try and negate some of that as he waits patiently for this heavy. But 30 seconds left. It's got to be go time. The decisions have to be made, and they have to be made perfectly. The reads have to be all right. And psygib is going to get caught out with the LG. This could be dire. The peeker won't save his life. 97 HP off the back of that. And oh, look, there's a Mega. psygib delaying his spawn, trying to chew up as much time as he can, but he needs to be so careful. If he gets caught out with LG, he's going to absolutely melt.
Yeah, and he's timed this red room light armor perfectly. He's taking both flights. He's taking the Mega. Heavy's the only thing left
Oh, no,
standing,
caught
but that's
behind
not even
LG.
going to be epic. But will he be able to find it? He's got 5 seconds left remaining. He has to start to try and distance. Will he be able to, though? No, a trade comes out technically. And psygib scrapes, and I mean that, scrapes that win on the first map. And there was some...
Can't take it.
There were some fights which I don't know how he won, but yeah, fair play to him. As like I said, when it comes to Sirius's combat skills, you kind of feel like you need twice the stack in order to even have a chance to continue to engage or even get the frag. But well played from Sirius, but psygib, a great job from him taking that first map.
Really, really nice play from psygib there, but fantastic work from Sirius. I mean, just the LG is insane. I think he ended with 2.5k damage. I don't know. We'll see at the end, but wow. Wow, what a first map. Fantastic play from psygib, able to take that one out by the skin of his teeth near the end there. You saw that last frag would have been everything to send us into OT, but also just a powerful start. psygib able to take 2-0 early, kind of open it up, and yeah, all things considered, I think it was a pretty fantastic map between the two. Very close call, and we'll see if we're going to get more of the same as we get loaded up for Awoken.
I'd love to know Sirius's plan of action, like in terms of his accuracy as well, how he keeps his aim skills so high. Of course, he does really do a regimen of a number of things in order to be able to prove why he is one of the best aimers on the circuit, and it really does show. And we knew ever since he qualified from last year's QuakeCon, but this guy is going to do some serious damage. We know that there's some, minor things which need to be rectified in order for him to really keep up with some of the big dogs here in this competition, but his aim alone, it's just absolutely ridiculous, and yeah, it's just nothing short of spectacular from the entirety of that series. But going to the next one, though, we do have Nyx versus Bizer. This time around we won't see a Ranger coming out, as obviously Zen was playing with the Ranger last time, chain with the Nyx, but Sirius is gonna, we talk about his combat skills quite a lot, or I have been for the last 15 minutes, but the fact that he's got piercing sight, yeah, it's just asking for trouble for psygib.
Yeah, it could be a rough ride for psygib, but I think the way that he played map number 1, focusing on the items, but still being able to compete and contest LG for LG, I think that's a good sign for him going into map number 2. Nyx versus Visor, the classic matchup here. We'll see exactly how this pans out. I forgot what the first map was on, NA or EU for the people playing at home, just so they can try and justify why exactly what we saw happened. I don't know. I don't remember, Lethal. Maybe you're better at this than I
was
am.
checking the
fantastic. I'm glad we're doing our job. Wonderful.
First. It's normally the first thing I check, but no, not this time, my friend.
Well, I'm going to take a look at the predictions while we have a quick second here. 65% in favor of Series on map number 2 on Awoken. We'll see whether that plays out or not. I think psygib surprised a fair few people there on that one, able to hold on near the ends. And we'll see if it's going to be a close one, if it's going to be a little more lopsided on map number 2. But you think the piercing sight's going to play a huge role in this one? I don't know if it's going to play as big of a role. It certainly can, but I think, I think the temperament with psygib and the Ghost Walk are going to be more important than the piercing sight.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the last one was on an EU server as well. All psygib needs to do, just not create these opportunities, adapt, and just keep his distance and choose his decisions wisely. But psygib can easily come out on top of this matchup as long as he doesn't give Sirius too much room here. Speaking of psygib, off from his perspective, already going across with Sirius using that piercing sight, but yeah, we've seen a lot of top players do it. When you see Sirius play against some of the very top players, some of the top 3 in the top 5, they seem to be able to deal with it with ease, just making it feel awkward and uncomfortable and just not using his aim to its full extent. But psygib, you saw he was doing parts of that in that last matchup. Maybe not all the time, but enough to, of course, get that one frag lead. And you can see, look, he's doing it again, just keeping his distance, using the tri-bolt, keeping an eye on the timings, and he's doing everything right at the moment.
Does take an early rail, make that 2, and he has got to get the hell out of there. Wall jump for insurance, does grab the bubble, needs to be careful these angles. He is going to have Ghost Walk, and now, in case things go horribly wrong, the tri-bolt's just tickling the outside of his existence right now, Lethal. psygib hanging on, 73 HP, no armor. Both items are up, and Sirius will actually go for the Mega instead of pushing the armor. A little bit of respect, maybe, not realizing where psygib is. That puts psygib right back in at 0-0. Around the corner, big rocket damage from, well, one of the players at least, but the rail will miss. Sirius able to pick psygib out of the sky, put himself on the board.
It's unfortunate. psygib is in the stacks at the time. He's just chilling at that choke point. Does it first. He has time to take him out heavy. Oh, that was perfect timing as well. Now, by the fact that it just gave out the Mega, but I think most people would have expected that anyway, considering both items were in sync with each other. Still almost are as well, about 2 or 3 seconds apart from what we can see. So we can still heavy and contest it, the Mega, just by the odd second or two, depending on how quick you can go about it. All the items around up top, and it's just finding his time for now as psygib no serious is top mid, and psygib looking to see what he can do, see how he can try and rotate around. But Sirius is just very patiently at the moment, see if he can catch him in one of his choke points.
Nice patient play here. A little bit of tri-bolt for information, but again, psygib staying out of range. Nice rail. Sirius able to back on to the heavy. 15 seconds until the Mega. Is he going to go up the jump pad? There's a tri-ball pushing psygib away ever so gently. Piercing sight available for Sirius. There it is. A little bit of insurance pops it, and now psygib caught in a bad way. Does have the ghost walk. So he does get out of there, but at what cost, Lethal? Now that Sirius knows the ghost walk is burned, he's got 40 seconds to play with to try and be a little more aggressive here. 5 seconds till the heavy. And psygib actually already by the heavy. Good rockets, though, to keep Sirius out. Nice rail. Can he follow up? Fancy footwork to get out. 96 HP. Oh my God!
The 89 from that last tri-bar, that was absolute madness.
Wow, both players were so weak. Sirius eating tri-bolt for breakfast, but serving up a hot and fresh rail. Another one as well, and maybe a second one, just missing out on those sweet, sweet cheeks. But psygib is stuck now in a bad, bad way. Nice rocket around the corner into the LG, and he can't even steal the heavy. That was a beautiful play from Sirius right there. Perfect placement.
It was unlucky. Serious. Psygib rather. Oh, the LG comes actually, ghost walk instantly. But the problem is he's chasing him down. He assumed that it was going to go towards the hourglasses, and end up once again 4-0. Now, Sirius still trying to hold the angle. A bit of tri-bot damage. He doesn't get anything, but it's got the info he requires before heading in straight towards this heavy void.
Piercing sight popped again. Nice tri-ball. Really nice utilization. Is psygib gonna risk this? Decent rocket here. Trying to keep Sirius out of the heavy, but he can't. He does do a lot of damage, evening up the stacks even after the heavy pickup now. Is Sirius trying to cut him off at banana after the armor pickup? Psygib too quick, grabbing the 2 bubbles and getting out of there, but eating a rail, and now this should be easy. There's the ghost walk. Is he gonna try and Hail Mary for the Mega? No time. Does see him escape through the banana. Sirius, little bit of a, yeah, it happens. Look, that was tactical, okay? Still very much in Sirius' favor, as he will grab another heavy as well as we're getting closer to the midway point of this one. 4-0 in favor of Sirius. He's doing a very good job cycling the items. You pair that with the damage output and his aim, and it's just a nightmare to deal with. Good tri-bolt here from psygib, and okay, maybe not that great. Clip the wall and takes himself out.
Okay, hits the first one.
Those fireworks are dangerous, Lethal.
Well, you're not wrong at all. 5 minutes in, psygib still hasn't got a frag to his name yet. Just haven't really found an ins. Stopping this rampage from Sirius at the moment. Psygib's had a couple of opportunities, man. Don't get me wrong, but he couldn't take advantage of it. Mega's up the next 5 seconds. Actually caught Sirius in that choke point. Good tri-bot coming up from psygib as well, as both players have equally. Both just going to go for it here. And Sirius comes out on top. But Sirius didn't really need to take that, but then again, he couldn't really move or go anywhere. It was only the jump pad on Molten, and psygib, he had to go for it, didn't he? He had to get a frag one way or another and take that risk, because he's only got nearly 4 minutes left. Finally gets his first frag, but still needs to try and find 5 more. But the problem is, okay, so I was thinking he's going to probably just burn the heavy, but instead, still able to stay alive. Sirius being very disciplined, just trying to hold on to these angles, and psygib just trying to throw these audio keys out the window with the jump pad to see if he can back off. But it looks like he's going to be okay. Mega is up. He doesn't get there in time, sadly.
Still connecting with the rail after all of that. And another one. Stop hitting me. psygib, buckshot. And he can't escape. 6-0 for Sirius on Awoken. This is becoming a bit of a beatdown, Lethal.
Yeah, certainly is indeed. This is the kind of map I felt like psygib would have done better on, and he would have done worse on. The way around like this, but good LG coming out from psygib.
Oh my God.
Okay, the plasma's finished him off at the end. Good first route, and he's got the pace in sight, so it's gonna be 2 for 2. And serious, lovely stuff here. 8-0 now. 3 minutes left remaining.
It's happening. It's getting serious. 8-0. 5 head plays. 1 billion IQ. As Sirius, again, you match the mechanical skill and his ability to deal damage with this kind of level of item control. It's just brutal. Now, granted, it's hard to play from behind as a Nyx. Once you get locked out of the map, it is very difficult to break out of that. But 21 items in favor of Sirius in terms of the majors to 6 for psygib. Living off the lights, both players sharing 12 apiece. Sirius doing a very good job running this map, forcing out the Ghost Walk right now. Will he read it correctly? And he stays on top. I think he heard him come out of invis. This should be another free one here, and there it is. Big rocket damage from above.
His first one hit the second for the TP. He would even go for the TP. No, he won't. It looks like he's not even going to bother.
Oh my God.
The 50 from the tri-bolt as well. And he's still in that choke. Oh, he's tempted. What do you think? Oh, he does go for it. Okay, so he took the risk, assuming that Sirius is going to stick to the tri-bolt, which he did, so it was a good decision. But we have to be real here, 9-0, 2 minutes left remaining. Not going to happen, but just trying to keep the scores respectable. But 89 for the last tri-bolt. Just absolute madness. Come out with the LG just to try and polish off that 10th frag. Good rockets on psygib, but leaves Sirius on just the 4 measly HP.
Very, very hurt. psygib trying to put himself on the board. The tri-bolt for defense. There's the Ghost Walk play. Okay, Sirius takes out Sirius. He says, nobody frags me but me.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. And he's still got the piercing sight to boot. 1:20 left remaining. Heavy's up in the next 5. Hasn't got all the weapons in his arsenal, of course, but he's got the piercing sight to keep his distance. Let's see what he can find him from. He's got the LG. Of course he has. Finishing off beautifully. Back to 10. Now with 1 minute left remaining. Just going to prep for this mega, but first, try and recover whilst continuing to engage him.
1 minute warning.
Trying to utilize that tri-bolt, not getting a lot of damage that time. Very, very weak. Coming out from the sewers, here's psygib trying to get on the board again. Tri-bolt will do it. Fireworks today on Awoken, Lethal.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. What a totally different story compared to what we witnessed in that first map as well. We're looking to survive. Fair play. He did try, but in the rock and a hard place at the time, so it's perfectly understandable. But yeah, this game was done literally 3 minutes ago. Sirius just whacking out the MG. So it's psygib rather. A little bit of disrespect and a little bit of fun and games. It's all good. We've got 10 seconds left remaining. So we are going to be at 1 apiece. If we.
Always amazing to go to the third map and have it as the tiebreaker, and also just fantastic to play from Sirius there. Great item control paired with just the ability to hit like a dump truck, Lethal, and that's what happens. Also, Nyx on Awoken, interesting pick. Didn't really work out playing from behind as a Nyx, getting locked out of the map. Absolutely just difficult to overcome. It's insane, actually. It takes a lot, so hats off to Sirius, but we are going to go to map number 3 as the decider, as you mentioned. And what better way to end it than on Molten Falls? Eisen for psygib, BJ for Sirius. Interesting picks. Well, not so much the Eisen, the BJ, really, but yeah, interesting, interesting. You don't see it a lot anymore. You don't see it a lot.
No, you don't. No, not at all. I think the BJ suits Sirius perfectly. I think the Eisen will do absolutely for psygib with the methodical approach he's going to have on Molten. If BJ is going to work, you know, this is it'll be a story in itself. I think BJ works on the majority of these maps, like abusing that dual wield. It's one of those abilities which you can use on almost any map, can't you? It's not something which you can only use on certain maps here or there. Like, for example, you can use Destrog on a cup to keep because of no rail. It's a little bit more advantageous, you know, little bits and pieces like that you can pick apart. But for BJ, he is quite universally used, isn't he? He's a good all-rounder for the majority of his maps. And even if it's Molten Falls and one of the larger maps, you know, fair enough. If it suits you, that's fine. If it's not a hard counter, that's fine. You know, long as if it's how you want to perform, if you prefer that pick because it helps you perform better, that's fine. But I think it does comfortably suit his aim skill. alone. But for Eisen, though, he's going to be looking to try and have a, as I mentioned before, more of a methodical approach and try and make Sirius a little bit more uncomfortable than he currently is, because a 12-2, nothing reflected. It actually reflected how it should have been 12-2, considering how well Sirius was playing. But psygib, we saw a lot of opportunities which he created himself with that stock. He played extremely well considering what he had to contend with from Sirius. We'll have to see exactly what psygib can do now with his eyes, and it's going to be make or break in this third map.
Yeah, it should be very, very interesting. I mean, I tend to lean more towards Eisen and the utility that we've seen out of the Timmy the Turret time and time again. The ability to just set traps, not only off the spawn, if you get really lucky, but also just making your opponent pick between shooting you and the turret, taking that extra damage. It could go a long way. Double damage is fantastic. No disrespect. I just don't know how much it's going to be integral to the victory here for Sirius, or just the play, being able to dominate the map. We'll see. I mean, Sirius just has this way of kind of enforcing his will. So we'll see. If he can get a good start, why not? But we'll see. psygib looking pretty good. Well, on the first map, anyway, it was very close. Technically, if you think about it, Sirius has kind of been over the top on this set, so we'll see. We'll see, Lethal. Anything can happen. That's the beauty of Quake, is we can get surprised time and time again, really.
I kind of feel like that as well. There's not as many choke points on Molten Falls, obviously, but that's where we may have to see a bit more creativity coming out.
85% in favor of Sirius.
95% LG. Go on. Why not?
No, I'm saying 85% in terms of predictions. I mean, maybe. Yeah, it could be LG, sure. I'm not that crazy, but it could happen.
Shotgun, yes. LG.
Yeah, 100%. But anyways, we're live. Map number 3, Molten Falls, the decider between these two. And we will see. We will see who reigns supreme. Is Timmy the Turret already deployed on the rail, trying to defend that a little bit? Molten Falls, a bigger map, of course. Rail a little more efficient for the long angles that this map does provide. And psygib just waiting, laying the trap.
It certainly is. It would be even better if he had those rockets, but hasn't really had the chance to go for them as of yet. But now is this one opportune moment here. Still got another Timmy in his back pocket as he sees fit. Now he has the timing on that heavy, which was all he was going for. Wasn't going for position, wasn't going for damage, was just looking to see exactly when the time of that heavy is going to be, so he can cycle these items, because he knows when the mega's coming up. It's a matter of how serious it's going to go. Jillwood has come in play as psygib's backing away, rightly so, just to try and waste its ability. So, a little bit of a back and forth as psygib playing around with Sirius at the moment, as Sirius has had the height advantage for the majority of this, and just can't really get away for the last 30 seconds. But has picked up the heavy.
Wow.
Huge play coming out from psygib.
Yeah, just sneaking in there. Now he's going to make his way onto the Mega, and he's going to grab both Majors and Lethal. Wow. What gives him the right? Denying the light as well. Psygib trying to lock down the map early here versus Sirius. So Sirius waiting atop the shotgun. I thought he had a little bit of opportunity for damage. There's a dual wheel, and there's a drop with the LGs. This is going to be enough. The rocket damage is going to Sirius takes out Sirius. No! 1 HP for psygib, and that is not how you want that to go. That's hurtful. That one hurts.
It was painful. It really was. These things happen, though. psygib just corrected himself. Already recover anyway, so it's not being a sheep. This is up. Let's put the info. Just looking to see if he's going to be TP or still around that health bubble. Oh, the turret, the tribal, the rail to boot straight afterwards. psygib looking 10 times better compared to what we saw in that second map. So far, though, psygib still continuing to do a bit of damage with that tribal. Had a slight advantage of his position, but he's actually going to throw the turret down unexpectedly. But Duo does come out for Sirius.
Oh my God.
Goodness, as if that happened as well. And the trade came out, but Sirius gets the spawn. But then again, psygib has actually gone for the LG. Will he be able to get enough of it, though? No, he does not. psygib had the rockets in the meantime. Unbelievable.
And yeah, throwing caution to the wind there. psygib up 3-0. Sirius not netting the damage he needs, trying to get on the board with the frag. There's the trap here with the LG, and that's going to melt him down in the rail room. Put the bead on him, made him pay. Does deal with Timmy nicely. Has to worry about another one here. Oh my God, he got stuck on the map, and that's painful. That one hurts your soul, Lethal. So there's the cutoff and mini banana there. Rockets flying from both players. Oh, nice damage. Tried to follow up maybe a little bit, but opportunity here. Nice read, but he misses with the rocket. Unfortunate. That's the only weapon really that he had besides a machine gun.
A little bit tilting, sadly, but... Oh, the duel. Oh, I felt that. I really did. Kind of like that first map.
Deep in my
when
loins.
he's in that red room. Yeah, literally. And he's... No, the LG. Oh, wow. Okay, so he had the rocket, which is fine. But I wasn't really too sure he's going to have enough time due to the animation to clean that up. But we've gone from 4-1 to 4-3 in just a matter of moments. Seeing the series looking to still continue to recover, of course. In that dual wield effect. And with the armor, doesn't really want to try and engage here as of yet, but he's getting a lot of damage out considering as Michael was just standing there just trying to get an angle. But now with the heavy in play and now having the dual wield, Sirius is looking very solid.
Yeah, definitely back in this one. Trying to read the cutoff appropriately, playing around this mega. A little bit of rocket damage. There's a dual wield, should push psygib off. Okay, here we go, taking the fight to him. LG on LG, and then the switch to rockets. Absolutely plants psygib. Dead to rights. Well played from Sirius.
5 minutes.
The use of the dual wield, paired with that aggression and just that mechanical skill, Sirius is showing us that, you know, he can use this champion effectively. And oh my God, so much LG. I'm surprised that psygib even got away.
Yeah, I am as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I know normally we see BJ quite a lot, respectively on Corrupted Keep, but for a lot of players, he can be a viable option on many maps. He's just one of those characters. He's not like just one-sided on some, but of course, you know, on Corrupted Keep, it's perfectly understandable why characters like BJ Strog does get used quite often. If you're comfortable like Sirius is, then why not? You know, just give it a go. As Mega will be up next 15 seconds. Let's have the dual wield. Oh,
Wow.
he's hit the rail, and the psygib is knocking on death's door here. Around here and pick up the health. I was going to use the dual wield just in case for good measure, especially with that turret in play. Oh, psygib actually did hit the rail. It depends on if he's going to go for it. And Sirius, he had a feeling, didn't he? He had the... Knew there's a potential chance that psygib may just drop down and take the risk to try and stop him from clenching for that mega, but he has picked up the heavy, so I'll switch to the rockets out. Both of them are going to trade. Yes, they are. We've still got 4 minutes left. Both of them still all tied up and really difficult to separate them at this point for you.
Pretty insane trade there. Insane sequence from both players as we are tied at 5. You can get pretty dead even. I think Sirius is doing pretty well, all things considered. Utilizing that dual wield well. Showing off that mechanical skill. 640 into this one. Prime positioning to drop down onto the heavy. Little bit of rocket damage. Not landing from psygib as the rails exchange from both players. Neither of them netting the damage they want. Sirius comes out on top with the rail there. Playing patient, making sure that there's no double back from psygib as he's already made a break for the mega, waiting down by that light armor. Fake jump pad from Sirius as he reroutes and goes down from under the machine gun. Spots out Timmy, wants to deal with that nicely. 2 rockets will do.
Three minutes left. He's just been picked up, but will be greeted by Sirius straight away. Just trying to back away. Of course, Timmy's out the question. So there's the dual wield. Round is Sirius is hoping maybe he may try and push out from that angle, but now he's deciding to get positional advantage instead. Actually, no, he's got a bit of TP, but Sirius comes out with the LG straight away. But so many good directs, some good damage there. Clean Sirius up with the final rail and the final nail in the coffin there, and he picks up the mega, and he's got time of heavy, and he still has the turret to boot. This is going to be so tough. But again, 2 minutes left. Sirius needs to find this one vital frag. This heavy come up in the next 10 seconds and the segregation of the timing. He's just going to come out straight away. The duel with the LG Sirius wins that.
God. Serious a lot. The shaft is long, strong down to get the friction on. Gonna get another one. He runs out of cells, but the rocket will come out. Big 10 HP using that BJ passive. Never mind. Straight to the Mega. No time for the BJ passive as he does take the lead by 1 frag. And just insane LG. Good God. Too easy rail. psygib needs to be very careful not to just give up another frag. A minute 20. And there it is. Another great rail from Sirius as he's stringing him along now.
He saw then 3 back-to-back rails. Even earlier, going for that Mega straight away, leaving those 2 health bubbles because he knew he was going to get the LG spawn approximately, and we're about to get to the Mega in time. Minute left remaining. Yeah, Sirius has had a crazy last couple of minutes. The audio cues here to see where psygib is going to come from. But he can play defensively now. It's perfectly fine. He's got a minute left remaining. The opponent hasn't got the mobilities which he needs, but he's definitely certainly got the dual wield in effect. But we could see the last of it now. Maybe at the final moment. See, and he's trying to fight for the Mega. Is it going to be the right play, though? Oh,
wow.
Very situational that was. But 30 seconds left, and now psygib has an opportunity to bring this back, but not after that last rail, and Sirius has just confirmed it with that final frag. And yeah, that means Sirius is going to take the series here for you.
Insane. Insane plays by Sirius. Literally just dive bombing with dual LG and making it work because his mechanics are off the charts. Sirius showing the world that a well-utilized BJ can bring any player to their knees, and he'll take this series 2-1 over psygib. Wow.
Not too shabby indeed. Even checking the damage count and anything like that. He had about 250 more damage in comparison. 19 items to the 17 of psygib. So that was actually quite a close affair in itself. Accuracy-wise, you've got the LG, 48% for Sirius and 61% for the rail. And psygib did have 37 and 30 respectively. But yeah, my goodness, those final few minutes. That one major... I did say, okay, maybe not creativity from Sirius, but... you know, a risk would have to come out at some point, and the fact that he just had an LG in hand, dropped down from the shotgun and towards going for that heavy with the dual LG, and the fact that risk paid off and then caught him on spawn straight afterwards was the damage dealer there, and there was nothing more he could have done. Of course, how can I forget the 3 back-to-back rails just to add to the tally as well. But psygib, apart from all that though, he did extremely well. Even during the first few minutes, he did a great job just keeping Sirius at bay and not getting those opportunities. But Sirius, sadly for him, found the minions.
Yeah, I mean, you have to just bait out the dual wield and just make sure that you're not going against his LGs, because 1 is insane. 2 is just absolutely brutal. We saw time and time again Sirius. That's the play that he wanted. I'm going to wait for my dual wield and I'm going to drop on you wherever I am with LG because I believe in my mechanics, and he showed it that, yeah, he can make that work. So I think the adaptation from psygib wasn't quite there. He took some fights that maybe he didn't need to and maybe he shouldn't have, but big plays from Sirius. He had a game plan and he followed through on it. 9-7 is going to be the final score for Molten Falls on map number 3, and he takes the set 2-1. Shouts to psygib. He didn't play poorly, but I think just some decision making, and you know, it is an issue to go toe-to-toe against Sirius because he is a mechanical just beast. So 10-9, 12-2, 9-7. Sirius takes it 2 maps in a row in the end there. But shouts to both players. I mean, hopefully psygib can keep on chugging along and play, but he's down in the 0-3 territory. It's kind of rough. Sirius actually boosts himself to 2-1 on the season right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but psygib, without a doubt, he played extremely well that series. It's very difficult to play with someone with that who's that mechanically gifted at the game, but he also wasn't creating too many opportunities. But then as soon as Sirius got a few or a couple or a handful, that was it. He was going in straight in without any train of thought at all in the slightest. And even that Molten Falls game, he still played it very well at the beginning, very methodical, very calculated in a lot of ways. He was trying to keep Sirius away in that range game, but not using the dual wield to full effect. But in the end, though, towards the end of that last portion of the map, the consistency just wasn't there, and you know, these things happen. But at least psygib has a map to his name to carry on forward with.
A little bit of pocket money never hurts, Lethal. Exactly. But that's 3 sets down. We got 3 more to go. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have Rafa versus Sib. Don't go anywhere. Lots of Quake to be played on this beautiful Saturday. We'll see you soon.